Welcome to the Daily Dish with Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Hello. I was just moving the heater. Hello, everybody. Gloria's in the house. June, Helen, lovely to have you aboard. We're going to be talking about something that I think is going to light you up today. That's my hope. That's my prayer. Hey, Carla and Juanita, I'm so glad you're here. We love Wise Women's Wednesday. There's my girl, Martha. So listen, what we're talking about today is how procrastination is related to all the things that we're talking about and how it's going to stop us from making a dent in the universe. You know how we've been talking about that. You need to be lit up. Kimberline says she needs to be lit up. We're going to do it right now. There's Kathy and Elaine and Jane and Doris and Lizzie's in the house. And did I mention Jocelyn, Flynn, and Lily are here too? I didn't because I just did right now. Notice anything different? I'm home. Home. January sprint is next Monday. I don't know about you. Are you ready to do it? Yeah, we'll send out an email. Make sure everybody's sent out. But note to self, send out an email about the sprint. Yeah, we're just, the holidays have a tendency to do that. Everything kind of gets backed up. Thanks, Flynn. She said, welcome home. It really is good to be home. There's no place like home, is there? So yeah, if you're ready to sprint, I'll tell you, if you're ready to sprint, we do it on Monday, savingdinner.com/sprint. Now, there is a webinar that I did the last time. It was one of the best ones that I did. I explained a lot of stuff, read good questions. I highly recommend that you go through it even if you've done it before. The kits are there. We can get everything out lickety split. Just make sure you are not procrastinating, but getting right on top of it. We got to do that. That's what it's all about. Also, check out this quote of the week. There's just one way to radically change your behavior. Change your environment, says BJ Fogg. Am I right? Well, yes. And Jane's asking if Lincoln was happy to be home. Yes, he was. He was delighted. He was running around. He was his doggy in his element. It was really cute. I see Diane and Mary in the house as well. I love that you're here. Thanks so much for popping on by. Yeah, it was quite a trip. It was a long trip. So we went outside of Syracuse, New York. We were outside of Syracuse, New York, and we had we drove from outside of Syracuse, New York, all the way to Bristol, Tennessee in one day. If you know where that is. Just a long drive. And then it was only 3 hours home, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But it's exhausting, and traveling is exhausting. We stayed at this horrible little hotel last night. Smelled like cigarettes and uncleanness. I'm sorry. I'm so weird about hotels anymore. I don't know if I can ever stay in a hotel anymore. What had happened to me? Hi, Alice. Jennifer, it's so good to have you here. I wanted to give a special shout out and say thank you. This is my stack of Christmas cards that I received from you. And I want you to know that that just moved me and touched me deeply. I so appreciate it. And I read every single one. A lot of times you addressed Mark and even Lincoln in here. Come on. You guys are amazing. So thank you for this. Thank you for all the love. And I even got my very first, this is from Mimi, a Hanukkah card. So thank you for that. It's just so lovely. And you all just lit me up. I just so appreciate it. Oh, hello, Alice. Alice in the house. Alice in the house. So everybody's glad to be home. I'm glad to be home. I'm really glad to get back to my normal routine in its time. And I'm scared to get on the scale. I'll tell you what. So Mark's family is Polish. His parents were from Polish immigrants, and they lived in a Polish area in where he lived in this part of New York. And they eat a lot of Polish food, pierogies, stuffed cabbage. What else was there? Some other thing with dough and bread. Oh, and there's this bread with raisins in it and all of that. And sure, I had some of it, and scalloped potatoes we made, but I just felt like the carb situation, I'm just, the carb situation, I feel like a doughboy. Anyway, I'm just really glad to get home. We stopped at Trader Joe's, loaded up on arugula and some green vegetables because I didn't have misfits coming. The salmon's out fine. I am stepping away from Mr. Carbohydrate for a while. Nice knowing you. I knew them too well. It's really time. Oh, Helen, listen, I went through a whole bottle of carb cutter. But, there's only so much carb cutter can do. Carb cutter's for people who eat reasonably, not at the holidays. Not really. Not really. You just have to take a lot of it. I did take a lot of it, and we will see. We will see how well it did. By the way, our skincare, you'll get this little skincare guide that comes in and tells you exactly how to do our skincare. You are going to love, everything that we have, from our deep moisture cream to the spots be gone to all of it. And when you use our balanced cleanser and you buy the whole set of skincare, we'll still send this to you, by the way. This is our little fluffer whipper maker. And it just makes everything, it just makes your skin feel really good. And it extends the heck out of your cleanser. It's a fun thing. What else can I tell you? Blah, blah, blah. Did I tell you everything you need to know? No, I didn't. Inner circle. Listen, inner circle is what you need to be paying attention to, because that is one of our upcoming things. And we will start in February, very beginning of February. So you have a chance to get all your ducks in a row. But inner circle, boy, oh boy, that is one amazing group of women. You want to find out about it? savingdinner.com/circle. Now's the time to get signed up. We've got a lot of people who are on the wait list who've already got their seats. We have a lot of people who've renewed. Very, very few places. I don't know. Do we want to be putting out the wait list thing anymore? I don't know. Amber's running the thingy today. I don't know if we do or not. Hi, June. Well, you've changed your environment by coming to your Carvaware home. That is the truth, isn't it? Anyway, yes, I am glad to be home in our house. It's just nice to be home, and I can't wait to sleep in our bed tonight. You know how that is. That's like the cherry on top, isn't it? Our supplement of the week. It is buy 3 get 1 free of our Bio Omega 3X. I'm particularly proud of this because it's a dry formula, meaning no fish burps, and you still get all the benefit. As a matter of fact, probably more benefit. The problem that they found with fish oil supplements is that they go rancid. That's kind of scary. You know what rancid fish oil is? That's disgusting, and that's not going to do you any good. Hi, Carol and Lucy. I'm glad you're here. So that's a big, big deal. The other thing is, and I just signed a whole bunch of them. Mark is, I'll tell you what, Mark is on top of things. He's already, he's putting together all of the orders that have come in, and it's going to take him a while, believe me. But I noticed there's a whole bunch of you ordering Getting Off the Carousel of Crazy. You know why? Just because it's January doesn't mean that you need to diet, does it? No, you don't need to diet. You need to learn how to become an intuitive eater. And essentially, that's what this book is about, because we recognize that we still need to have knowledge. We just need to apply it differently. We need to learn what it means to become an intuitive eater. And that's what this is about. It's also about the head games that we play with ourselves and how long, anyone, pinkies up if this has been you, how long have you allowed the scale to run your life? Tell you things are good, things are not, and all of that. It's insanity. So I just want you to take a look at that. I also want you to take a look at Take Back Your Life Journal. Now, we have a very few of these left. We have to make another order. We're probably going to do some changes or whatever. But I'm just going to drop a big hint. You're going to want this, savingdinner.com/journal, to go get it. Just saying. And then, of course, you are going to be joining me on Saturday, January 8th. Are you not? You better be, because this is where we're going to do the work to get to the place where we can actually set goals that are manageable, that are needle moving, and that will change your life. Because why set goals otherwise? right? Boy, what do you hear about today's stuff, though? Ooh, savingdinner.com/journal. Trust me, you want this, especially if you're going to our workshop, savingdinner.com/vibrant 2022. No, you can do, yeah, you can get the print. Kimberline, send in an email. We'll get you the printouts. Ain't no party like a vibrant vision board party, huh? Sarah's right about that. By the way, Sarah, I have to show. I just was showing everybody my sweet Christmas cards. What did I just do with them? What did I do with them? Oh, for heaven's sakes, Leanne. Really? Where did they go? I had them. Did you see, did you witness that I had cards on me, on my person? Oh, here they are. I want to show you the cutest of Christmas cards because this one was adorable from our Sarah. No, not that one. This one, not that one. This one. Oh, that was so cute. Nothing can mask our Christmas cheer. Bump. Sarah, that was adorable. Thank you for that, by the way. And thank you again for everybody who sent me cards because I don't know. That's my love language. I like that. I just thought it was lovely. So also, I told you about everything. I'm just going to get on with the show. How about that? Why don't we do that? Let's get off the carousel of crazy. Not the carousel of crazy, but the carousel of procrastination. Did anybody ever feel, did your hair just go up on the back of your neck when I talked about the word procrastination? Anyone? If you're guilty and you know it, raise your pinkies and then clap your hands. Yes. This is one of our carousel of crazies, is this idea of procrastination, and is this thing of how we end up taking our dreams and dashing them against the procrastination rocks. Kimberline says she's turned it into an art form. Look at everybody. Everybody's, I know you because I know me. This is us, right? This is us. So, but if we're going to make a dent in the universe, remember what Steve Jobs said. This is how we started the week. Making a dent in the universe, because it is up to us to make that dent in the universe. And if we are here, then we are candidates for this. We are candidates. Sarah said, later. I'll raise them later. Procrastination much? So anyway, he offered that. That's the reason that we're here. And I agree with him. But we also need to come to terms with today. Okay? Because yes, we have to come to terms with today. We also have to come to terms with our past. And we also have to understand that when we're determined that we want something other than we have and we still procrastinate, we are destroying our dreams right away. It's absolute complete destruction. It's the crucible of destruction. Here's the crucible, put in the dreams, smash them. We do it. We know that we're doing it when we do it, and yet still we do it. Do you want to know why? I mean, everybody always wants to tell you how to overcome it. Eat it one bite at a time. It's an elephant. It's this, it's that. It's all the kind of blah, right? There's my girl, Angie. Elaine says that talks straight to me. Wait till you hear what I have to say, because I am telling you right now that this is the needle mover, and this is the thing that's just going to make you explode. You're going to cry, Flynn. I promise you. So we know that procrastination is a thing. We know it makes us feel rotten. We know that it not only delays what we ultimately want to accomplish, it goes way deeper than that. And here's the thing that I want you to know right now, and I want you to write this down, please. Procrastination isn't because you're lazy. You are not lazy. If you procrastinate, it's not because you're lazy. What the psychologists have found out is that procrastination is self-harm. Now, hear me out. Psychologist Piers Steele, the author of, perfect book, listen to this, How to Stop Putting Things Off and Start Getting Things Done, did several studies and found that procrastination, what we know about procrastination is that it's completely irrational. It's irrational because we know what's going to end up with what our end result is going to be. We're going to feel bad about ourselves. We're going to start beating ourselves up, the whole 9 yards. But here's the deal. Apparently, procrastination is also a coping mechanism. We procrastinate to cope with the negativity that is connected with what we're feeling about having to do the thing that we're supposed to be doing. So let's say you have like something due at work, or you have something that you've been trying to do, or a closet you've wanted to clean out, or something, or whatever. Yeah, you can say, oh, it overwhelms me. Oh, it's too big, or oh, it's this, or it's that. But it could be connected to boredom, anxiety about the project, a negative mood, even challenging emotions that you just quite don't know what to do with. It can go even deeper and be connected way in the back of you to some emotions that maybe you had, like your sixth grade teacher came up to you and, popped you in the chest and said something mean to you. I had that. Fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Ackerman. Who did it? Somebody maybe caused you harm in the back. And so you procrastinate and push off because at a tender moment, somebody did something, maybe on repeat. Maybe that's what happened. So here's another thing. So that blew me away, by the way. I never associated procrastination with any kind of way I felt. I just knew how I felt after I procrastinated, right? But it's because what our amygdala does is says, oh no, here comes risk, here comes pain, anxiety, depression, whatever. And maybe something like I said, way attached into the back emotional underpinnings of your psyche from when you were in fourth grade. I don't know. But all of that is what comes up, is attached to it, and your amygdala is trying to protect you so you don't experience that again. Does that not blow you away? Tom Seikel, another psychologist, agrees and said, procrastination isn't a time management problem. It's an emotional regulation problem. I'm telling you, my head exploded over that one. So in other words, when we procrastinate, we're dealing with some kind of negativity, and that's more urgent. According to our brain, that's more urgent. That negativity that arises when we think we need to be doing something or supposed to be doing something, we procrastinate instead. That is more urgent. I never connected those two. Never. So there's an entire body, and then you want to hear what even blew me away more? There's an entire body of research called procrastinatory cognitions. In other words, the ruminating thoughts that we have and the things that we say about ourselves and the emotions that they're all connected to, it's being studied because it's not an anomaly. It's everywhere. It's commonplace. Tell me this isn't blowing you away. Yeah, there you go. I see the comments. I mean, seriously, bam. And here's the thing. Here's where it gets even more tenuous, right? It's a vicious cycle, because here's what happens, especially because procrastination makes us feel better for just a minute. And that just a minute thing is enough for our amygdala to be rewarded. Gosh. So anyway, now that I've blown you away, it could be because I'm seriously, I'm all morning long, I'm going, I can't believe this. It's just so crazy. But over time, the procrastination habit then kicks in, because if we do it enough times, this habit does kick in. That's what addictive habits are about. That's why you light one cigarette after the other, drink one glass after the other of wine when you should be done. That's why you stop exercising and start hanging your clothes on your bike, instead of using it. But here's the thing. Over time, the procrastination habit creates chronic stress, low-level dissatisfaction of life, chronic clinical depression, and heart disease. This is what happens to us when we have emotions in our bodies. They need some place to go. They have to be dealt with. This container, this beautiful human being container of ours, is not meant for carrying around emotions that stagnate and sit and fester. It's meant for us to express them and get them out. Now, if you're raised in a home where you didn't do much of that, I know, I know exactly what it is. But this is what it leads to. And it leads to these things, and we don't quite understand that. We just think we're lazy. We just think we need to learn a new hack. We need to do this instead of that. All of that's true. But when we understand the depth and what it's all tied to, then we can be a little bit more gentle with ourselves. And believe me, I've got some, based on these studies that these psychologists have done, I've got some really illuminating ideas for you to start using on yourself when you fall into a procrastination thing, right? Okay, so Dr. Judson Brewer, who is the director of Brown University Mindfulness Center. Brown University has a mindfulness center. That blew me away. He says we need to give our brains a bigger, better offer. He's calling it the BBO. Okay. So what is a bigger, better offer? It's a better reward than procrastination is what it is. Something that's internal. Now hear me on this. This is where it gets important. Something that's internal, not like if I follow through and work out 5 days this week and whatever, I'll go get a mani-pedi. No, we know that one, right? Duh, that one's forever. What it is something that's internal, something that you say yourself, something to calm and love yourself up. Don't we all need to be calmed and a little more loved up these days, right? Sarah says her house needs a mindfulness center. You have one, honey. It's you. So there it is. So here's what you can do. And this is what Dr. Brewer is saying. Number one is, and will you hear me on this one? Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. We struggle sometimes with forgiving others because of the atrocities committed or the things that had happened or whatever. We ruminate on them. And I get that. But the person that we least forgive is ourselves. And boy, do we need this. Here's the thing. Again, back to Dr. Brewer. He did a study with students, and they were procrastinators, admitted procrastinators, and they procrastinate. So when he got some procrastinators who had done their first exam of the year, got them all together, and he said, I have a technique to help you overcome your procrastination. You ready? Let's do this together. And he got them together, and he had them forgive themselves. I forgive myself for procrastinating over this test. I forgive myself for, allowing other things to be in there, and it's okay. I can move on from this. It doesn't mean I'm a patently bad person. That doesn't mean anything. Just means I put off studying for this test. When exam number 2 came along, most of them ended up not procrastinating for their second exam. And I look at that and and it almost brings me to tears because I think of how many times I have punched myself down, how many negative things I've said about myself, how horribly I've treated myself, and the words that I've said, when maybe what needed to happen was a little gentleness, a little kindness, meted out in heaping tablespoons over my own head, not someone else. Not, a technique or a hack or this or that, just plain old forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Move on. It's not the end of the world. Don't attach all these things to it, and let's just allow for the process. I thought that was incredible. So the conclusion, obviously, of this study is that forgiveness facilitates the ability to move past the act of procrastination. What a concept. So he said that, it's a maladaptive behavior because there's no reward really attached to it except such a minuscule, eensy-beensy, tiny, whoop, there it is, kind of a reward. And then it just flies away and we're left with the wreckage of what it is. So it helps us to move past the maladaptive behavior without the burden of the past acts of procrastination. I don't know about you, but that to me was just a very big breath of fresh air. Need food. Hurry. Hello. Give me. Hungry. Evelyn. Okay. All right. So in other words, there's no more guilt. How about that? No more guilt. So can you imagine doing that for yourself? Can you imagine the relief that you feel not having to go and read another book or figure it all out or looking for another hack? It's just that forgiveness for yourself. Another tactic that he had in there was self-compassion. So the same study found that procrastinators have low self-compassion. They're constantly beating themselves up. So giving oneself compassion acts as a buffer toward the usual self-flagellation that you do when you procrastinate. Can you see all of this? There are a few more things we can do so you and I can both stop procrastinating over putting a dent in the universe, right? That's why we're here. So number one is this: pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to how you feel. Your emotions shift when you procrastinate. Did you notice that? Knowing so will help bring in awareness, and awareness can help you ask appropriate, curious questions. Well, why am I doing this? How am I feeling? What's up? Getting in touch with yourself instead of ignoring it so that you can move past. That's a big act. And number two is considering what's next. And you can break it into smaller chunks. How many times have you heard that one? But instead of just breaking it into smaller chunks, what if you asked, well, what's next? What needs to, if I were to do this instead of procrastinating, what would I need to do? And so again, back to the research, what they did was ask the participants in this research, and they said, well, what would you need to do in order to get this started? Well, the guy said, well, I need to start a spreadsheet. Okay, can you start the spreadsheet? Or I need to start this paper, or I need to read this book, or whatever. And they had them start the task, and what they found was that it was calming. Just starting the task, just starting. And then, because we know this, you guys know, we've talked about this before. What does action do? Action gives us motivation. It doesn't go the other way around. Action, then motivation. What does a lot of motivation do? It begins the process of more action, which leads to momentum. And that's just pure, unadulterated magic. So that's how we get past this procrastination hoo-ha and start really understanding that procrastination is a signal and a symptom that all is not well with your soul, and that all is not well with how you are loving yourself. So if we can start to get into this, and we can start to love ourselves, regardless of all the stuff that's going on, regardless of that eensy-beensy, tiny-wincy dopamine hit that we may get from having just that small little bit of procrastination, we're going to find ourselves feeling a whole lot better, giving ourselves a whole lot more grace. And I'm going to bet that procrastination starts to lose its grip on us. What do you think of that idea? I think it's something worth thinking about. That's what I think. Thank you so much for joining me today. I so appreciate the fact that you show up. That's not procrastinating, by the way. And pinkies up for those of you who have decided to make a dent in the universe and become part of our vibrant 2022. Come on. It's happening on January 8th, Saturday, January 8th, from all day long. Morning is for teaching time, and the afternoon, it's arts and crafts time. It is going to be so fun, and it won't be the same without you. savingdinner.com/vibrant 2022. Juanita, I'm so glad that helped you today, and I hope so much that everybody else who's listening, that it helps you as well. It blew me away, I have to say. Pinkies up. Thanks for joining me today. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.